years of revisiting these songs. Over the years, they've definitely become a part of me. Every time I open up one of these sessions, it's like the same conversation comes up between who I was then versus who I am now. In the wake of losing Christina, when everything in life began falling apart, I'd run to a piano or I'd run to a guitar for comfort. The heartbreak was definitely still there, but in some way it was almost as if she was there writing those songs with me, because I'd take an a cappella of hers, or I'd take a voice note, or I'd take, a voicemail that she'd send me. I'd lay it over the music that I was writing. So in some way it was almost as if she was still there making music with me. And that early on, it felt healing. But after a while, reality set in. She was gone and the comfort disappeared. Opening the songs became just flat out heartbreaking for a really long time. Nowadays, it's kind of 50-50. Like over the years, some amazing friends have came in and composed beautiful parts throughout the music. So when I listen back, it brings back awesome memories throughout all the songs. Christina's voice is in there. So the body of work is like truly nostalgic and beautiful. I love it and it brings me joy. But when I sit with it for too long, I'm just reminded why I even wrote it. So it's give and take. And aside from, cancer, seizures, work-life balance, this has been the other main struggle in my life, trying to get these songs done. Here I am 9 years later, constantly asking myself, will you finish them? Can you finish them? I'm done with asking questions. This time, I'm not finishing them alone. You're gonna finish them with me. Songs for Christina, Day 1. Alright, so here's the plan. I'm going to start opening these songs back up one by one and just kind of see where they take us. Some of these songs are almost done. Others haven't really been opened for years, but each of them carries a special piece of that time in my life. Maybe by opening them up with you, all the pieces will finally come together. So let's see what we can do. So I figure we start this whole thing off with one that's a little more built out, just so that we can get the ball rolling. This is the session for Somewhere Over Georgia. Over the years, I've had quite a few friends ask about the title in particular. I'm not from Georgia. Christina's not from Georgia. So what gives, right? It goes back to one of the hardest weeks of my life. It was maybe the third or fourth song I wrote in the wake of everything. At that point, life just didn't really feel real anymore. When I wasn't like hiding away making music or crying my eyes out, everything just kind of felt like this weird lucid dream. Next thing I knew, I was on a plane heading east to Christina's funeral. My inner monologue, louder than ever, kept flashing back to all those late nights with her and our friend Seth, and driving around Studio City on random adventures. Like those little moments that feel so small at the time suddenly just mean and become everything. Before I met Christina, I wasn't really a spiritual type. I was more like a see it to believe it kind of guy. She just saw the world so differently. After spending that time with her, I started seeing it that way too. So to go from that kind of light, that warmth that she had, to total heartbreak overnight, I didn't just want to hold on to the memories that we had. I wanted to hold on to the way that she saw the world. So there I was, sitting on that flight, staring out a window somewhere over Georgia. For a minute, everything felt still, peaceful, like maybe she was there with me somewhere above it all. Pull out my phone, write down the phrase, Somewhere Over Georgia. Didn't know what it had meant yet, but I kept it with me to the viewing, to the funeral, to meeting her family, her friends, people that loved her. And then on the flight home, once again in the sky, Somewhere Over Georgia, I start writing. The song kind of became this feeling of distance, like she's close, but not quite there. The lyrics, grounded and heavy in the verses, but then the chorus, it lifts. It's kind of like my way of reaching like to her in a sense. So yeah. So that's what we're gonna work on today. The verses need guitars. That's where I'll start. And please try to remember, it is not done yet. Not even close. That's kind of, whole point between, you and me doing this. Yeah, try not to judge too hard. Judge it. You can judge it, but not too hard. All right, we'll finish it together. All right, let's go. Okay, so this is definitely not day one anymore. It took me a couple days to figure out how to even record my screen, how to record the audio on the screen. This is my first time doing this, but this is still day one. We're gonna consider this day one anyway. Yeah, this is the session for Somewhere Over Georgia. As you can see, it's a lot more built out than it was in 2016. I've got live drum session that I haven't even comped out yet, gospel choir, tons of drums, guitars, pedal steel, just tons of instruments. So anyways, the very beginning I wanted to keep true to the original recording where it's just piano and vocal, and then Christina coming in. The only thing I think I added is this plain cabin, a little bit of landscape. Here, I'll show you it now.
Somewhere over Georgia, plane came crashing down. Heard your voice singing these days. Then lost our sight and sound. Woke up to you.
And then from there, Christina comes in. There's a few other moving parts you could see here that I put in the chorus as well. Anyway, you could hear that this part is pretty intimate, but, I still want some movement. So I'm thinking of adding my first thought was strings, get a cello player to come in. I do want maybe a rhythm guitar, a soft rhythm guitar there, but the main rhythm guitar that I think we're gonna add right now is more in the second verse. So let me pull up the second verse really quick.
Somewhere over Georgia, but my soul break away to see you for a moment and hear the song you sang.
But yeah, as you can see there, it's kind of like a full band kind of setup. It's even got the pedal steel guitar, not really conventional guitar, but just pedal steel. I'm thinking why not bring in actual guitar itself? In the chorus, I have full guitars, so it'd be cool to follow up with a lighter guitar, kind of help build up the crescendo to the next chorus. See, and these are the chorus guitars. But yeah, I feel like that would pair up nicely, following up with a, something cool in the rhythm. And we'll write that now. All right, so I've got a couple riffs for the second verse. I'm gonna track them all, and we'll just audition each of them, see what sounds best. Maybe one or two things will sound really cool on top of each other. All right, let's do it. also tracked some power chords in the second verse as well. I just didn't get to film it. Between everything, I've got 2, 4, 6, 8 dubs. I'm gonna fly into the actual session. While I'm here, while I'm tracking, I have a little really simple idea for the first verse, so I'm gonna fly into that really quick.
Woke up to your beautiful face, baby. Lifted me off the ground. So somewhere overjoyed, yeah. Thought you all alone. Somewhere overjoyed.
Alright, so I got the guitars into this session. I did a little bit of tucking in, I did a little bit of mixing, and honestly, I think all the guitars that I laid down, I like them all together. I mute the lead vocal. I'm just gonna play this as is so far. That's pretty sick. It kind of feels like a landscape. My goal with like verse guitars like this is like instead of making like a big statement, I kind of just want them to be felt in the background. And that's kind of what they're doing. If you can't tell, I like dissonance. I'll also solo the bass out. You have the bass that's kind of following the melody of the vocal while also keeping the bass root. You have like the guitar that's also following the bass root, but then keeping some dissonance in the actual chord itself. I love that. And I love that little octave part. Kind of feels like Eric Johnson kind of move. And it only happens once. Pretty cool. Let's dive deeper into the song. See what we could do with this. This is like, I don't know what to do yet. So we'll get a little creative. This is like mainly Christina, a lead guitar, me in the background, some drums. And then it goes to big gospel choir that I did in Oakland with this awesome dude, Brian Matheson. Shout out Brian and his squad. Let me just play it. I haven't laid down a lead vocal like at the end there. I will at some point. I just want to be ready first. Let me just solo out Christina there for a minute because Christina is epic right there. You know, you add that to a gospel choir. Prior to the actual gospel part, this bridge-esque area is kind of bare. So I want to figure out what to put there. I'm between like, you know, I know that there's already a guitar there. And you could see it automates. I'm debating on like maybe just like a bass line, like a cool, like maybe something jammy. Or maybe this is where we intro an acoustic guitar. I don't know. I just kind of want to play around in this area. I want it to be intentional though. I don't want it to be like random. This is where I transition into the montage. All right, let's figure it out. Boom. Back from the montage. So I've added 4 elements to this bridge part. I've added acoustic that kind of like chugs, a acoustic that's kind of like higher open chords. In the second half, I added a hand-picked acoustic part, 3 acoustic elements. In the lower end, I added like a jammy bass, like I said, would kind of sound cool. Kind of follows the root notes, but then just kind of goes off and does its own thing. So I'll kind of show you piece by piece. Here's the first one that I mentioned. And then we've got the higher open chords. For that second half of the bridge, we have this hand-picked part. And then I'll play you this bass line. In context with the track, it jams pretty hard. Here, I'll show you. This is everything in context. I think that sounds pretty cool. I like that jammy bass. You know, Christina always liked cool, like jammy bass. That's why we put that big slap bass part in Sublime. After introducing acoustic guitar in this part, I think I kind of really want to go back and put some acoustic guitars in the rest of the song, or at least in like appropriate parts here and there. I think that might have to be for another video, because I could imagine this video is going to be pretty long at this point, but I do really love the sound of the acoustic guitar. But yeah, like maybe that'll be the next video. You know, if you watched this video to this point so far, thank you so much for sticking it out. And that's day one. Songs for Christina. I'm honestly pretty blown away with the amount of ground that we were able to cover. Day one finally got an electric guitar down in verse 1. Simple, but just enough to honor the original 2016 version. In verse 2 got a whole new layer of life, this big landscape of guitars moving together. Finally got acoustic guitars on the song for the first time, and then that bass line with all that character. I feel like Christina would love that. They might look like small pieces on the outside, but for Somewhere Over Georgia, these are huge steps. This song has been sitting in pieces for years. So in day one, a few of those pieces are finally starting to click together. That's amazing. So I think I'm gonna keep filming these based on feeling. So basically like whatever song I'm pulled towards that day, that will be the song that we wind up opening. And some days might look like this, where it's equal parts storytelling and production. Other days might be mostly music, or mostly memories, or storytelling. I mean, whatever feels right, to be honest. And yeah, day one definitely took a few days to make. Software hiccups, emotions, being new at this whole video making thing. But we're here, and we will get better as we go. So bear with me. We'll call this day one. But yeah. And if you did make it all the way through this, thank you, truly. It means the world that you're here for this. Songs for Christina, day one.